up in 8 Coronation Street.
Oh, really?
Oh, no, I'm a real city sparrow. I'm a Mancunian born and bred, and very happy. And that's why I know that all this is real, because there they were. We had a Mrs. Sharples who lived next door to us, you know, the Sharples type, who was into everything. You know, she knew everybody's business. And yet, if you wanted anything, you went and asked Mrs. Guyton. You see what I mean? Just like you would go and ask Mrs. Sharples, you see.
I think they like the gossip. I think they like, something happens, and then I think they like to think, now, I wonder what Ina Sharples will say about this, or what will Elsie Tanner say. Don't you think so? I think women like this. They like going into these little houses and hearing the people talk about the other people.
Then, before the programme started, we wanted a prototype for our own Coronation Street. We looked around Manchester, and we found a street called Archer Street in the city of Salford, which is a twin city to Manchester. And this seemed to fit just what we wanted. It had a corner shop at the end, it had a row of houses with little bay windows, and there was a church at the bottom. We've always thought of there being a church at the bottom of the street. The street itself that we show on the screen is, of course, built in the studio.
This isn't the real part of Manchester where Coronation Street is untrue. There's no such place as Coronation Street. It's dreamland. It's a totally imaginary place. When I first devised it, I was asked where it was specifically, and I said, stand in Market Street in Manchester and cast your net 4 miles in any one direction, and there you find Coronation Street. It isn't one specific place.
You are Tony Warren, and I wonder if people realise what was and is your functioning.
Well, I devised the programme. It used to be me in a pile of paper in an office. I wrote the first 12 episodes and devised all the characters. I'm the lucky one because nobody recognises me. I can go shopping in Woolworths.
You can.
No, but you might say that Tony created the Coronation Street. He gave birth to Ina Sharples and Elsie Tanner and Annie Walker.
It's a young father.
A very young father figure, yes. It's a great responsibility for one so young. Tony's got a sort of photographic mind. I remember one night going into a pub with him, and he was pretty high that night. He was in his cups, as we might say. And there was the landlady of the pub and her husband having a row, which was all fabulous dialogue for the street. And I remember we carted him home, and all he could say was, "Put me in front of a typewriter." And he was almost in a paralytic state, but managed to type the whole of the dialogue that he'd heard during the course of the evening. And I think that's rather clever.
That's very unkind. Most of the programme is written sober, I would tell you.
Yes, okay. Bits and pieces for that Dr. Shop in the evening. I was very lucky. Hold there, please. Sorry, hold there, please.
Do you find it easy to work with these people who are so routine now? Do you think you have difficulties in putting in your ideas into them?
No, not at all. I find that they're marvellous to work with, and they welcome new ideas and a different way of looking at things, and I find them very cooperative. They'll listen to anything that we suggest. They'll also put their point of view, mind you, because they know their characters so well, and they've got a lot to offer us. I mean, even though they're used to this routine, they're not routine people by any means.
How did they manage to keep this fresh?
Quite honestly, I don't know how they manage it, but they do. They're just very professional people, I suppose.
Can you look to your left, Margot? Can I have the chart at the other end? Can I have the chart at the other end there, Harry? The chart should be at this end, okay? Yeah, wait, it's permanent anyway. Can I do it? So you look down to your... No, as you were.
Yes.
Look to your left rather than to your right.
Yes.
Okay, because you're looking, look this way rather than... Yes, fine, that's okay. Good. Fine. We'll carry on. Is it very painful?
Is it very painful, Ina?
Only when I laugh. I get up at 6:30 in the morning. And I catch a train at 8:30 into Manchester. And we rehearse until 5:30. And I catch the 10 minutes to 6 back home. And I get back here about 7:15. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesday we have what is known as a technical run, so that we get a little bit of time off and get back a bit earlier. Thursday we're down again and we work till 7:30, so I don't come home on Thursday night. Friday we rehearse and tape the show, and we finished about 6, and I get back here about 7:30. So I have Saturday and Sunday only. It's really rather amusing, you see, because people say, oh, do you have to go down every day? Oh, I thought you just went on and did it.
Something Dave can't walk.
She'd let you take it off. That's okay.
Will I come in?
Mr. Leslie, in what way is your character the same as Jack Walker's, or differs?
Well, all I can say is, I suppose, when they saw me in a play, they thought, well, there's a nice kind of genial type of fellow. Now this is the fellow we want for Jack Walker, and I don't think the character has deviated from the beginning to what it is now. He's just a happy-go-lucky fellow.
And you are too. You are personally too.
Well, I like to think I am, yes.
In what way does or did Coronation Street change your way of life?
Well, it has certainly made things a lot easier for me.
In what respect?
Well, in the respect of, I suppose you know what the theatrical profession is. Sometimes you work for 6 months in a year or 9 months, and sometimes you only work for 3 months. Well, this has given me 52 weeks in the year. Mm-hmm. It's given me security, as you might say.
You have been offered to be a real pub.
Oh, yes, yes. Well, my answer to that is that I'm working 5 days a week now, and in England they're open 7 days a week, and I think I do quite enough work as it is.
Poor Annie, she's a little disappointed in life, isn't she? She always hoped for better things than this little public house, and she always feels she's just a little bit above the people she's living with. In one of your papers I saw you called her a snob, which is true. She is a snob. There you are, you see. Well, Annie is a snob, and I hope I'm not a snob. I don't think I am.
My home life is entirely different. As you see, I haven't got a dentist, but I've got 3 dogs. I adore reading and music and tapestry. I play with bows and arrows, and I horse ride.
And swim in the pool.
And swim in the pool. And these are things, none of which Elsie Tanner would do. You sometimes get confused. I have made mistakes when I've made personal appearances. And I remember on one specific occasion, I got onto a platform and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, may I say how very happy," and a voice from the gods shouted, "Come off it, Elsie, be yourself." And I said, "Oh, sure up." And then after that, the evening went very well. But this can happen.
She's a grand old lady, I think. I like her. She's got her problems, but one feels one understands her, you see. That's also because I understand her.
Is there something similar in your character, you think?
Well, I think so, in a way. I don't suffer fools gladly. I've got a keen sense of right and wrong, whether I am right or not. You see, Ina lashes out at things, and I'm inclined to do the same. I've got my courage, the courage of my convictions, as she has, and they can be completely mistaken, but nevertheless, she will stick to them, you see. And I think in that respect, we have a great deal in common, you see.
On the other hand, she is not what you might say a very pleasant person to... I mean, deep down, you like her, but...
Yes, and I think, well, there must be something deep down, because, you see, she is liked everywhere. People say she's the woman they love to hate. They don't hate her really, you know. You see, she's she's sound. People can say, oh, the old bag, you know, she's into this, she's into that, but if anything goes wrong, what would Mrs. Sharples do?
We get numerous letters from people who feel that not only could they write the program as well as our writers, but could also take part in it as well as any of our characters, which I've always taken as a great compliment. In fact, if a lady in a street in Manchester or Salford feels that Elsie Tanner or Ina Sharples behaves just like she does, then this, I think, sort of indicates the degree of reality that we're after.
Sometimes people can be very annoying when they're very stupid, you know. People will come up and you go, oh, I know who you are, you know, and you feel you could hit them, but when they're nice, it's very nice. You know, people sometimes come up to you and say, oh, nice to see you, you give us such a lot of pleasure, you know, and you say thank you very much. But when they come and make inane remarks and they say to me, I expect you'd like a milk stout, wouldn't you? Because I never touch milk stout.
Young Barlow boy, Kenneth Barlow, Bill Roach, when he was on his honeymoon, they were going to have such a wonderful time, they went to Tangiers. But unfortunately, as they got off the boat, another boatload of English tourists drew in, and they were recognised immediately and followed wherever they went. Annie Walker, halfway up the Swiss mountainside, thinking how lovely to be alone when a coachload of tourists drew up and said, oh, it's Annie Walker.
It's pleasant up to a point, Ellen, but there are things you want to do where you would be glad to be incognito. You would be glad not to be recognised.
People in Holland hardly realise that this goes on for 6 years already. What is the attraction of looking at other people's, misery sometimes?
Yes, it isn't always misery. I think that is partially the answer, that this program isn't concerned with one single aspect of life. It's not concerned with crime or the solving of crime. It's not concerned with the healing of the sick, as in Dr. Kildare, Emergency Ward 10, this type of program. It's concerned with the whole of life itself. And anything, either happy or miserable, that life has to offer, we can show in our program. We have, too, had a large cast over the years. We've always had a large cast, which has made it possible for practically every one of our viewers to recognize one or two out of our large cast as people or as equivalents of people they well know themselves. This has given a reality to the program.
I think the universal appeal of the street is that it is almost a modern morality. It's every man. Everybody can identify somebody in that street with either themselves, a relative, a friend, a neighbour, or somebody. It was months and months after it started. The producer's desk was piled with things. Said, oh, we've seen this woman, we've had her, she's my mother-in-law, she's my Auntie Lizzie, she's the woman across the road. And I think that people like to identify themselves with it, you see.
People see real lives there, And all they're really doing is sort of mentally saying, oh, don't let it happen to her, or this is what I would do.
There's a great deal of self-identification with the characters.
That's what I was trying to say.
And this we find all over the world where Coronation Street plays, in Australia, in New Zealand, anywhere it plays, that people know someone who is just like Ina Sharples, or who is just like Elsie Tanner, or Elsie Tanner's Dennis. And the number of women that have come up to me all over the British Isles and all over the places that I've travelled and said, do you know, I've got a son just like yours. Now, what do I do about it, you see?
And what do you say?
Well, I say, well, I can't cope with him, love. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Which is perfectly true. Elsie can't cope with him. You know, she just loves him and he's an idiot, and that's it. But it is this, I think it's self-identification. They all know an Ina Sharples somewhere.
It's a good thing, really. You can't be sentimental about these things, can you? And it's better that the people should have better homes, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. But you don't see any disadvantage in it?
The only disadvantage is that when they move into these big blocks of flats or these new suburbs, they don't have the same friendliness, the same feeling of being part of a community, do they? Which I think is what people enjoy about the street, this feeling of a closed community.
I think it's a pity to take people away from their environment, but I don't regret the little houses. I only wish they didn't put them in those great towering blocks of flats. But they're destroying the community, I feel. This little across the street, as Ina said, I like to be able to go across the street and not look 13 floors down, you see.
It's not only the story of a street, it's part of northern history, and it's also part of television history, because no show has ever run for such a long time and topped all the ratings all the time it's been running. Plus the fact that in years to come, when all those little houses are pulled down, all the back streets are gone, and Ina Sharples and Elsie Tanner are just perhaps some faded writing on some wall in a back street, they can run those films again, and they've got a bit of the history of the North, a bit of truth, because in nearly every episode someone mentions something about, say, a cotton strike or something that's happened in the North, and we that live here are intensely proud of the place, dirty as it may be. We're proud of our warmth and our open, forthright manner. Sounds a bit conceited, but we are, you see.